Hey, what's up guys? Tugi here, back again with another episode of Project Tranmere, our Youth Academy Road to Glory series with the Tranmere Rovers, and in this episode, we finish up what is somehow already our third season. The first 2 years, we struggled. We were at the bottom of the table, but now things have started to come together, and with just 15 games to go, we are still at the top of the league. Whether or not that holds, though, is an entirely different question. You see how close the top 5 is, with every team separated by just 2 points. Or not every team separated by just 2 points, but 2 points between us, Shrewsbury, and Macclesfield Town. Or not Macclesfield Town, I was going to say no, it was Mansfield Town. My bad! Am I restarting this intro? No! I'm not. I was reading Macclesfield Town on the right-hand side there. See? You see it right there. Rochdale beats Macclesfield. There you go. So yeah, regardless, we are good to go. I'm pumped. I'm excited. The Youth Academy's looking good. The Scouting Network's still set up until April, but I have the next few nations in mind by popular request, so we have nothing left to do but to go ahead and begin the sim. However, because there's so little time left, I think I'm going to try to stay live for pretty much the majority of this episode. We'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, we are going to have to make some slight change to the lineup. Let's bring in Eklund, and Bartos can stay in. He is a winger after all. I think aside from that, we're good. We'll get Altonen on the bench, and yeah, we are good to go. Berezovsky still hurt, unfortunately. He was looking pretty good. One of the big signings out of the Youth Academy that we made in the last episode. But we're playing AFC Wimbledon. They are in relatively decent form. Let's see if we can get the win. We need a happy Valentine's Day for all, and we get a goal 2 minutes in. Moritz Meyer, let's sim the rest of this. 3-2-1, 2-0 victory, 2 goals for Meyer, and that is a fine way to start off this episode. Whether or not we were able to get any separation from the rest of the teams towards the top of the league table, I'm not entirely sure, as I'd love if this froze, but I could kind of tell by the lens flares in the background that it did not. So as far as the training goes, I'm going to get Montadon up to a 62. I mean, he's close enough as it is. We might as well do that, help push him over the edge a little bit. Is there anybody else who's super close to leveling up? The answer appears to be not really. Everyone still has the promising player tag, which is pretty nice. Saavedra is looking okay, and of course the goalkeeping situation is still quite good as far as well. So with no one else really being that close, I think I kind of want to put a couple of points onto Jonathan Kelly, if at all possible, just in case Meyer goes down. He's the guy we have to rely on, him and Montadon. So it makes sense to train him up a little bit. Aside from that, we do have quite the base as far as the midfield is concerned. Let's put a little bit of training onto one Galliano. We know he's looking pretty damn good in terms of potential. Budawani as well was looking pretty good for that reason. And of course, I'm not saying that everything we do training-wise is going to be with players out of the Youth Academy. It just kind of makes sense for this week, just to get a couple of guys over the line. Montadon's up to a 62. It makes sense, at least. Like I said, I'm not against, of course, training up the players that we're still playing every day and that we have on the bench. It makes sense to. We are 3 points clear of Gillingham, which is a very sign. Reese Mason, now unfortunately, none of these moves ever go through, but that's okay. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why that one time I didn't sit here and clear out the mailbox every 5 seconds. As Mason's lone move was rejected at Stevenage on the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed it is. Sip will be back and available for this game. We're going to sit Park, and we're going to I'm actually going to keep Eklund in the game. He's in good form. We'll give him the opportunity. Actually, everyone in the current lineup right now is in good form. So for that reason, we'll leave the team as is. Sip is available off the bench. No, never mind. We can't risk it. We can't risk it. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, I really want to for the sake of rotation, but Sip is one of our top players this season with Moritz Meyer. We can't We can't afford to. We should be able to win this game, though. Stevenage in pretty poor form. This should be a walk in the park, which is why we'll probably lose. 3-2-1. 3-1 victory. Altonen ends up coming in off the bench and getting hurt. Sip, Morgan, and Meyer with the goals. We'll see how long Altonen happens to be out for. It'd be pretty devastating to be missing him long term. We'll see if we can get Mason out on loan. 7 days. Not bad. Not bad. A week-long injury for Altonen. And we already have another training session. But there you go. Still 3 points clear. Gillingham keeping pace. This is going to be tough. We cannot afford to slip up. We have to keep winning, as scary as that is. Is there anybody else? You know what? Anderson's getting somewhat close. Unfortunately, nothing's really looking like... There we go. We'll have him improve his shooting. In the midfield, Sip is getting relatively close as well to going up a little bit more. We'll go for that. Try to get the attack position up. For the moment, in terms of defenders, Galliano is close. Of course, the problem right now, he's, I believe, 17 and still quite low in terms of overall. He might still be someone that's worth keeping for the sake of selling, even if that just means we get to upgrade our scouts. Of course, there's really nothing else we can use the money for. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Galliano's up to a 52. Kelly up to a 63. So not a terrible week for us in terms of training. Nothing overly special, though, as we played Cheltenham on the weekend. Intrigued to see what happens here. We get a loan offer for Cordoba, which would be fine by me if he could get regular first-team time. Of course, this year we're out of pretty much every tournament, although it does say Reach Cup Final, which we didn't do. Are we still in a tournament? I don't believe we are. Okay, I'm not sure why I just got credit for reaching a cup final when that totally didn't happen. But sure, hooray for us. We did that, apparently. Loan offer for Jonathan Kelly. I'll accept that. Not against loaning him out at this point with the players we have in-house to replace him from out of the youth academy. Cordoba won't be going anywhere. The lineup is good, thankfully. Pretty much full fitness. Let's see what we can do. Cheltenham are in fine form here. This could be a tough game for us. They score 2 minutes in with Dawson. I am going to sim the rest of this. 3, 2, 1. And we end up with a draw. Kelly scored in the 34th. I'll take that, all things considered. It sucks to drop points, but against a team in fine form like that, I'll take what we can get. And Shrewsbury have tied us a very nice 69 points each. Man, with 12 games remaining, this is going to be close. We are still top of the league, though, on goal differential. So we have that going for us. Let's focus on Dubkov here. Try to get him up a little bit. In terms of wingers, again, Anderson will be the focus. Shooting-wise, that should put him over the mark. Eklund as well. See what we can do there. Hopefully that gets him over the 65-point mark into the 66. Sip, also close to going up another level. And who else? Anybody else overly close to leveling up? O'Leary. Let's go for O'Leary. See if we can get him up another level as well. Meant to hit simulate all. Dubkov made good progress, though. Next week we can get him up to a 57, no problem. Anderson a 68, Eklund a 66, and O'Leary, welcome to the 70s. One of the rare players on the team to be up into the 70s. Not too bad, though. He was another really good find for us somewhat later on, relatively, with how far the series, or how long the series has been going for. He was a pretty good find for us relatively later on. So we'll try to loan out Belofsky. Of course, that goalkeeping situation is going to come to a head sooner rather than later with how many we have signed. So we have 2 players in for the team of the month. Let's take a look here at our schedule. So we have a midweek game and a little bit against Port Vale. And outside of that, another midweek game against Gillingham and Mansfield. But for the most part, it's pretty much just games on Saturday straight to the end of the season, which is what I like to see. So our roster will continue to remain the same. We play Grimsby. They are in meh form at the moment. I'd like to think we could get the win. If they beat AFC Wimbledon, we beat AFC Wimbledon. I'd like to think we could get the win here. Let's find out. Does that logic make sense? It doesn't have to. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, they scored. And it's another draw. And that could see us fall off the top of the league table for the first time in months. Back-to-back draws. And thankfully, we're ahead. Shrewsbury lost on the weekend. We are 1 point clear. It's a very, very close race at this point. Sip made it up to a 68. I'll take Eklund and Anderson out of there for the moment, just to see if there's anybody else who is that much closer. Luna, Abelovsky, both close. Let's get Luna into training for this week. Bump up the shooting. Is there anybody else? Guys like Clark and Davies, we might as well. Davies, let's make you better defensively. And swing back over this way. Abelovsky, let's try to get you up to a 56 again. This is how I've been handling training for the majority of the season. When it at least became clear that we were pretty much good enough to compete. I still like that strategy of at least having a decent second team for those, and you'll see it too in this episode, for those midweek games. It's going to be tough if we don't have that squad. If we don't have that squad depth, we're not in this position right now as to where we might be able to get promotion. We're on track at least. Automatic promotion would be key. Thomas Lund is staying. Montadon. Saavedra, we still need more info on. I'm just seeing if there's anybody worth getting rid of right now. And I think for the moment, everyone there can stay. Of course, we're waiting for our second report from, I believe, Mexico, Chile, and Switzerland. So we'll see if we can loan out Patrick Cox. And from there, we'll find out. Like I said, I have 5 nations in mind that we'll end up scouting here towards the end of the year. We'll see how that goes for us. We'll see what the league table looks like as of Saturday. We are potentially still in first. We do have our scouting updates. There you go. We'll see if we can loan out Reese Mason. Walsh, who you got for us? Gil or Gil Granero? Probably Gil Granero, I'd imagine. 63 to an 87. That's not going to happen. Eusebio Guerrero will absolutely be signed. Danilo Cordoba will not be brought in. Octavio Cordoba will be signed. Cristobal Benitez will be signed. And Danilo Segura. Oh my god. So a great class of Mexican recruits. Who do we have next from Chile? Solomon Segura. Another goalkeeper, but damn it, he might be too good to deny. Ramon Lopez will release. Eligio Hurtado, we're probably just going to drop. What would that be? Would it be Abelio Montenegro, I guess. We're going to let him go too. Lucio Gerardo will be gone. Oh my. Tomas, would that be, oh my god, I'm not even sure. Would that be Arnaiz? Arnaiz. I'm going to go with Arnay for the moment, but Jesus Christ, please be a striker at 6'3". Oh my god. So I was going to say, it was looking like Chile wasn't going to match up to Mexico, but we might have the top recruit from this class here. Severin Roche, unfortunately, will not be signed. Werner Bader will not be signed. Lucas Stockley will not be signed. And Benjamin Luthi, probably not the way to pronounce it, but still, Switzerland didn't exactly pan out for us, but some damn fine recruits from Chile and Mexico. And with that, we are good to sim this game against Forest Green Rovers again. Average form at this point in time, if we're going to put it nicely. A win here is necessary to get back in the win column for the first time in a few weeks. We need these 3 points. 3, 2, 1, there we go. Morgan in the 82nd minute. It's another victory that'll secure our spot at the top of the league. For now, Shrewsbury have yet to play, so we'll see how that goes. Once we get there, let's go ahead and take out Luna and see who is worth training up this week. Park, Abelovsky, Anderson. In terms of new recruits, everyone looks pretty damn good in terms of at least having promising player. Let's take a look here, just double checking with everybody. And I think we are good on that front. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's train up Johannesson, get him to a 60 overall, hopefully. So we have a lot of players. The only guy who didn't upgrade from this batch of training is Davies. But he'll either hit it automatically without playing, or he'll get it next week with training. And O'Leary there, up to a 71 already. Bartos, you are welcome, sir. Don't worry about it. 73 points, 10 games remaining. It is going to be close, and here's one of these midweek matchups, and we're going to probably have to play a second team here. Yeah, the squad isn't on full fitness, so I am going to risk it. Clark is going to sit for Jackson, and even though it doesn't matter about having keepers on the bench, I still like to organize it in this way. Meyer will start over Kelly, with neither of them being on full fitness. So let's go ahead and make these changes. Altonen will be in the middle, and we'll actually have Park and Luna at the 2 cam spots. On the bench, let's go with a full fresh change. Clark, Cordoba, and Mason. And then as far as the defense is concerned, we'll also go with the full switch just to make sure that everyone is back to 100% for the weekend. So players might not be set up exactly where we'd want them to be. Although I believe some of these guys can pretty much, actually all of them can pretty much alternate over to center. Let's go with Medved at center back. So there we go. Case in point, not bad. Lowest overall guy right now is a 60, that being Sean Cox. So overall, I'm feeling decent about our chances. A draw here would be ideal. I do have to sit Meyer. I do. We need to make sure he's good to go. So even if he gets subbed on for Kelly, we need to make sure that Meyer's good to play this weekend at as close to full fitness as he can. So this matchup against Port Vale, they're in decent form. Can our second team get us a point at the very least? 3, 2, 1. They scored 10 minutes in with Dodds. And we do end up getting the draw. Habelovsky in the 49th minute was able to tie it, and that was it for goal scoring in that game. I'm not upset with that. Every point counts. Case in point right now, we're only 2 points clear of Shrewsbury. If they win their next game, they go top of the league. We are still in one of the automatic promotion spots, though. The top 3 are automatically, for those who don't know, the top 3 automatically promoted. 4 through 7 go into a 4-team playoff. The winner of that is promoted. So we are still extremely likely to be going up. But I don't just want to go up. I want to win the league. I want to send a statement that, damn it, this progression, this change in this club is for real. This is happening, and we're not going back down immediately. It's just nothing but success from here on out. We might not get promoted up into the championship after next season, but I want to make sure that this is the start of a very, very special run, as we need to get this team set. Meyer will be good to go, and we will get this team established for this next game. Let's go ahead and get Anderson in there, and then Kelly will play the middle. So in terms of the bench, we are just going to go with Cordoba, Mason, and Davies. And as far as the defense is concerned, it's pretty straightforward. We just switch it back to what it was. Let's actually put Weber over on the right. And we are good to go. I'm actually probably going to bring in Kovac over Johannesson. And we're fine. So there we go. We'll give some of our players a rest for this week. So the sub bench isn't ideal, but we should still be fine playing Crew Alexandra. Let's see what we can do. 2 draws and a win in their last 3 in a big-time game. If we're going to stay top of the league, we need all 3 points. Can we get them? 3-2-1. Morgan scored in the 13th minute, and we end up getting the 3-0 win. Let's go. So Morgan scored in the 13th minute and goals in the 41st and 83rd minutes from Sip. And that is a major, major win for us. Shrewsbury would have gone top of the league, but we stay 2 points ahead. We now have 10 points on Gillingham, who are in 3rd, and Mansfield Town, who are in 4th. Mansfield currently in that playoff spot. We have just 8 games to go. We're 10 points clear of the playoffs. It's looking like we're going up as long as we keep this pace. But again, going up isn't enough. I want to win the league. I want to win the league. Period. Let's see. Who else could we look to train up here? A couple of guys are close to leveling up here, actually. Let's go ahead and focus. Like Meyer, halfway there. Abelovsky, we'll try to get you to that next spot. Jesus, your attacking position grade is the worst. We have 2 Abelovskys. We're training the winger and the keeper. Park as well. Screw it. We might as well try to get you up to a 65. And Eklund, you're not quite there. Bartos was close. Let's focus on Morgan ahead of Clark. And we'll see if we can get him to go up in overall as well. So Davies and the first Abelovsky are up. The last 3 are unfortunately not. But they're that much closer. And particularly for Morgan, with him playing in this next weekend's game, he could level up on his own. So let's see what we have here. It's Northampton up next. And another big game. Shrewsbury have gone top. Damn it. So for the first time in months, first time in 2021, we are not top of the league. We need to win to get that spot back. Of course, we are dead even. They are 1 point clear. So the pressure is on in that regard. Let's get the sub-bench back to what it was with Eklund, Abelovsky, and Altonen. Just to set that up and have players who are in the best form be in the best spots to succeed. So, there we go. And actually, I'm going to swap Sip and Morgan back over. That's where they were when they were at their most successful. And we'll see what we can do here. The pressure is on to continue to win. It's a 2-horse race at this point between us and Shrewsbury for the league title. See what we can do here. Northampton 1-1-1 in their final 3, or their last 3. Let's see what we can do. Meyer scores in the 8th minute. We're going to skip the rest. 3-2-1. And we end up getting the 3-1 victory. Not bad. 2 goals for Meyer in the 8th and 39th minutes. Sip with a penalty in the 60th. They get the goal back to break the clean sheet in the 78th. But that wasn't enough. We get the win. We should be back on top of the league. And we are. Shrewsbury dropped points. If I'm not mistaken, 39 games played, we have the 2-point advantage back. Unfortunately, we have a game midweek against Gillingham, which could hurt. Could hurt. I mean, we're not going to be able to play our best squad in that game, so that's a dangerous play. But if our depth is as strong as I hope it is by this point, we should be okay. A draw in that game, at the very least, yet again, is crucial. As we'll try to level up Wilson here. He's not as close to leveling up as some of the others. Actually, not. We won't. Let's go for Kovac. He'll be the easy one. And actually, he's going to play in this next game, too. So him going up to a 62 would be great. Indeed, he does. Abelovsky and Park don't make it, but Morgan, Clark, and Kovac all end up upgrading. That was a dirty that we just dropped. It was a very dirty We have 7 games left this year. We get another loan offer for Afrani that will never be accepted, but it is what it is. Let's see what happens. This is a rough situation to be in. We do get Berezovsky back, which is pretty nice. But it's not enough to help us out now. We are going to have to run a bit of a second team. I want to make sure our squad's good to go for the games on the weekend. I'm going to put Abelovsky on the bench at least to try and appease him. Kelly with Meyer on the bench. Eklund's not going to start. I want to make sure we have a team that's full fitness at all times. Not a necessity, but especially too when you consider that we have another game coming up in just a few short days, we need to make sure that we're good to go. So the bench is going to be Sip, Mason, and Davies for this game at least. It's not a bad way to go. I mean, the squad's definitely taking shape. And then again, we will have... Let's have Johannes in there, Cox, and Kovac. I know I can set up a second team sheet, but it changes all the time with certain people going up in terms of overall, with the injury history that we've had over the past couple of seasons. So I just haven't been doing that. It's a 30-second change for the most part. Big game here. A point is nearly a must. The last time the second unit played, they were able to walk away with a draw. I would take that in this scenario. We can drop points. Abelovsky scores. We can drop points, but we can't afford to walk away with nothing. As Cordoba goes down to injury, and they tie it in the 69th minute. 10 minutes remaining. Is there a late goal? There is not. It is indeed a 1-1 draw. Abelovsky's goal, Cordoba's injury. We are still top of the league. 6 games left. It's going to be down to the wire between us and Shrewsbury. Ridiculous. That was a huge set of points there. You're welcome, Abelovsky. We did get Manager of the Month as well. Cordoba's only out for 2 days. In terms of the Youth Academy, Segura is going to be on the way out, unfortunately. That's just not good enough. Lund is ridiculous. Montadon's looking pretty damn good. Budwani as well is just insane. The keeping talent that we have here. Like, just look at the talent here in the Youth Academy to begin with. Saavedra will leave for the moment. Eusebio Guerrero, unfortunately, I just don't think that's going to cut it. I think he's got to go. Octavio Cordoba as well will be out. And you know what, for that, Cordoba can stay. And then again, Arnay is a monster. Galliano has that ridiculous potential. We just really need to train him up. Oscar Montenegro will be dropped. Granero's looking good. Benitez will certainly be dropped. Segura's looking alright. And Dubkov's still looking okay. Burez as well. So, Youth Academy's still looking strong. But again, we have the issue right now of just having too many solid players to sort through and not being able to offer enough of these guys first team time. Over this next transfer window, we're going to have to start letting some guys go outright, just based off of, age and where they are overall wise. We got to start making those tough choices. As Moritz Meyer wants to play, no real surprise, buddy. Trust me, you will be. We need you for this next game. As if every point didn't count before, it certainly does now. But I am perfectly okay with the result of that last match. It would have been nice to get the win. But again, just to factor in being able to keep pace with Shrewsbury to be now tied in points, same amount of games to go, to call it a race to the finish would be an understatement. As we'll be playing Bartos in this game. I'm actually going to put him back on the left, even though it doesn't look like it makes much of a difference. Let's go with Eklund, and I'm actually not even going to have Kelly on the bench. We're going to put Alton in there. So again, not the strongest bench, but I'm trying to allow some of these guys to recover in terms of fitness level. And then in terms of the defense, we'll play right over there. Let's go Wilson there, O'Leary, and Weber. We'll have Medved and Kovac on the bench. And with that, the first team is organized. We're good to go. The final few games of our third season. Promotion is nearly a guarantee. Can we take home the league title, though? Again, promotion's not enough. We wanted to finish mid-table this season, and now I'm saying promotion's not enough. I want the whole damn thing. We're playing Accrington Stanley. Can we get the win? Sip gets injured in the 23rd. I'm going to skip it from this point on. Can we get the 3 points? No, we cannot. Lefebvre with the goal. The lone goal of the 43rd, or the lone goal in the 43rd minutes. And with that, Shrewsbury, who picked up a point off a draw, go top of the league. We are 2 points back. That could be a devastating loss in terms of keeping our title hopes alive. I mean, we're still right there, but they have the advantage. that measly 1 point advantage, but it is an advantage. As we'll go ahead and we'll focus on the strikers here in this round. Let's go ahead and pretty much look to upgrade every single one of them. And then we'll figure it out from there as far as who goes next. Damn, that's a really tough loss. Wingers, Eklund. I mean, that's the obvious one to hopefully get him up to a 67. And Montadon and Eklund were the only ones to actually go up a point. It's pretty disappointing, but I'll take it. And our next game coming up here is a massive one. We pick up an injury as well. That was Sip, and Sip's out for the rest of the season. I almost wanted to just ignore that, but yeah, Sip is going to be out for the rest of the year. That is a pretty devastating loss. If I'm not mistaken, our second, biggest point producer. And he was the March Player of the Month. So there you go. Last month's Player of the Month. Hey, Kelly actually ended up getting loaned out. So that's our current backup striker who will be going to Saudi Arabia next season. So we'll be playing Macclesfield Town. But yeah, losing Sip could be devastating. We do have Eklund, though, who is good to step in. We'll have Kelly there. And let's just kind of go ahead and bump Sip down. Pretty much all the way down, out of sight, out of mind, into Berezovsky territory. Thankfully, Berezovsky will be back soon, but will that be too little too late? Let's also get the bench sorted. Park Abelovsky and Altonen. And with that, we're good to go. So a pretty big injury to the starting 11, but the bench is back, the team in general, at 100% outside of those two injuries. We're playing Macclesfield Town. We need a win to keep pace. Again, promotion at this point is basically guaranteed. We are going up to League One. That's pretty much out of the question now. It's a guarantee. But we need a win. Trading goals early on. I'm going to sit here through this whole one. Let's see if we can get the W. Kelly scores a pen. 2 unanswered goals. Morgan makes it 3. The offense showing up in full force. So we're 20 minutes out from securing the 3 points. Bartos makes it 4. And there you go, a 4-1 victory. 4 unanswered goals. And that sees us back at the top of the league. 2 points clear of Shrewsbury. Ridiculous. Reeks Park is suspended. Not the biggest loss in the world, I do suppose. We'll go back to training. We're going to have our final reports from Mexico, Chile, and Switzerland coming up here. Let's try to get Meyer, Kelly, and Dubkov over the limit there. And in terms of midfield options, Luna, we might be able to put in some work too and have him upgrade. And then in the midfield, yeah, let's get Kelly over the edge too, especially too with him being a regular everyday player. I mean, he is our best midfield option. He goes up to a 68. Everybody except Luna goes up by a point, which I guess isn't all that surprising. He did have a decent amount to go if he was going to be leveled up there. Who are we playing on the weekend? Who is it going to be? It is, I think that was Rochdale. It is what it is. Let's see if we can loan out Patrick Cox. I think I said Sean Cox earlier, which, names. So from Mexico, Emigdio Vera will not be signed. I gotta learn how to say that name, I suppose, because Orellana. Would it be Orellana? Orellana. We'll call him Emmy. But 77 to 94, he is being signed. Nunez will not be signed, and Fausto Velasquez will not be signed either. But needless to say, Mexico was quite kind to us. What about Chile? Oh my God, we don't need so many good keepers. Granero will be signed. Mateo Cortez will be signed. Geronimo Prado will not be, but Solomon Galliano will absolutely be. Chile was also quite kind to us. And now the last report from Switzerland, Jorg Kukler. Alex Luthi. Again, Luthi, we're going to have to learn how to pronounce that. He's being signed for obvious reasons. Ruschker and Stockley will not be signed. So there you go. Overall, really, all 3 nations were quite kind to us. But we need to assign our final scouting reports for this season. We're going to start off with Thomas Walsh, and he will be going to the fine nation of Cameroon. We're going to Cameroon. We are also going to South America, and we're going to the fine nation of Peru. So Cameroon, Peru, and to counterbalance that, we are also going to the fine nation of Denmark. So there we go. Next up, at this rate, Egypt and France will be in the next batch, more than likely. They have the most support in terms of the short list. Uruguay, Scotland, Portugal, South Africa, New Zealand, and Bolivia have all been mentioned. But right now it's Egypt and France that are more likely to be included. They have been mentioned a bit more frequently. But I had to choose between Peru, Denmark, Cameroon, Egypt, and France. And why not go with some of the lesser knowns as we head into the final few reports. Let's see what happens here this weekend. Another loan offer for Cordoba. It would be nice to see him out, so again, he could get some regular playing time. He's played a decent amount since we signed him earlier this year. Let's take a look here, though. This is the big game. Will Shrewsbury play beforehand? I doubt it. They probably play on the same day. Indeed, 2-point lead. 73 points for Rockdale. This could be tough. We have an unavailable player. Park, with the red card, will be out, so Luna joins the bench. Berezovsky, actually, is back, so there you go. He will be back in the fold. He'll be the one on the bench for this game instead of Luna. So we have a winger, an attacking option in the midfield, and a defensive option in the midfield. And in fairness, Eklund's going to sit. So actually, never mind. I was going to sit Bartos, but he's in good form. So Berezovsky is back in the lineup. We are good to go. It's still a shame that we're missing Sip, but it's good to get that reinforcement with Vasily Berezovsky being back in the lineup. This is perhaps the biggest game of the season to date. We desperately need a win against a very tough opponent. Can we get the job done? This is where titles are won or lost. Towards the end of the season, every point matters. I'd be alright with a draw. They take the lead in the 65th. We need a goal here. We need a goal. Come on. Somebody. Anybody. Please. Bartos in the 90th. Oh my goodness. Bartos may have just saved us a league title. A goal in the 90th minutes. Shrewsbury dropped points. The 2-point lead is still intact with 3 games to go. Bartos, you absolute hero. I left you in the lineup with you being in good form rather than putting in Eklund, and that was the right goddamn choice. The 18-year-old Slovakian pays dividends there. We get the W. Or we don't get the W, we get the draw. It might as well have been a W. We get the point. That's the point. And we are still top of the league, thankfully. My God, that was stressful. 90th minute. The tying goal. 3 games left. Promotion, again, is guaranteed. We are going up. There's no doubt about that. We're not going to magically lose 12 points over the course of 3 games. So in our 3rd season, we have finally been promoted. We are going up to League 1, but it's just whether or not we'll be doing so as champions. But we have secured an automatic promotion spot as well. It is impossible for Gillingham to catch us. So to the Rovers, congratulations. You are moving up, but your work here is not yet done. We want the title. We want the title. Send a statement on your way up that this isn't it. This is just the beginning of what I hope to be is a very, very special run, as Luna's not quite where I want him. Berezovsky either. Cordoba's a little bit further ahead. we'll try to get him an upgrade point here. And then for other midfielders as well, Cordoba, and actually there's quite a few of these guys here in the Youth Academy that are quite close to getting the upgrades. Although, you know what? I swear to God, I thought I read that as a 36, and I'm like, Jesus, he's not worth upgrading at all. He might be. He might very well be. Oh my God, yeah, I guess this solves that as far as what we're focusing on here training-wise. Just trying to bolster up the attacking midfielder depth that we have all of the sudden as Cordoba, not the one already on roster, but Cordoba and Orlana end up moving up. So that could have gone a little bit better for us. It is Mansfield Town on the weekend. They are currently in third, battling for that automatic promotion spot. And to make sure that we're good to go for the weekend, I mean, I have the option right now. I need to look, who are we playing on the weekend? Because we might run a non-full strength. It's Oldham Athletic. Where are they in the league table? They are way down there in 22nd. So you know what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to risk it. I'm going to play the second team here. Hopefully they can get us a draw. And then we'll play the first team against Oldham on the weekend, and hopefully we just smash them and guarantee ourselves the 3 points. It's a little bit risky. For sure it's a little bit risky, but I feel like it's a move that could pay off and should very well pay off. This team is good enough. We've seen it a few times now. This team is good enough to get the draw. I'm confident in that. The bench will stay the same. So we'll have the same replacement options. Although, you know what, I'm actually going to take out Echo, and we're going to put Davies there just to give him a chance. And then, of course, the defense will be substituted out so that they are good to go for this Saturday. So there we go. Is this team good enough to at least get a point to keep us where we need to be? A point from this game, and we're guaranteed to be, at worst, tied with Shrewsbury on Saturday. So let's see what we can do. It's a big risk to play the second team here. And the first team absolutely needs to smash Oldham on the weekend. We need a point minimum. Last game, we get a 90th minute tying goal as Cordoba gets a red card, straight red, in the 12th minute. That could be enough. Khan scores in the 42nd. We are trailing. They get a follow-up red card. Clark ties it. What is this game? This is a circus right now. 15 minutes left. If there's a late winner, it needs to be for us. Khan misses a pen, and we hold on to get a point. They have a penalty missed in the 86th minute. We hold on. And as mentioned, we are... Oh, Shrewsbury dropped again. At best, Shrewsbury could have had us tied in points. If we beat Oldham on the weekend, we are champions. What a perfect situation. 2 late steals to get the points that we needed. A ridiculous point streak. Granted, not really. Well, if you factor out that one loss, I mean, for the most part, we've had a ridiculous run of form. If we beat Oldham Athletic on the weekend, we are champions. And it's the type of game where some people have been like, oh, watch it to be able to at least see the cutscene. And it's like, well, that is miserable. I'm tempted to play it, but I also don't want that to be somewhat cheap, I guess I would say. Because some people would say, like, oh, well, there was no guarantee you were going to win it. What about the drama in case you didn't? So, it's kind of a weird situation in that spot where I do want to see us raise this goddamn trophy. But I also don't want to mess with it in that, you know, who's to say that we would have won? Maybe we would lose this game if I interfered, so it's kind of a weird spot to be in, where I definitely want to see what happens. But in a way I don't, as Johannesson's actually going to be playing center back in this game. O'Leary is a tad bit tired. So we'll have him start on the bench. That is the way to do it. It's tough. I said there was the debate as far as whether or not we play this. Oh, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. So I think, because of that now's the perfect time for a cliffhanger. That's right. I'm hitting you with the cliffhanger. Let me know down in the comments below whether or not I play this game or if we sim it. Let me know what you think, because I kind of want to be able to celebrate the fact. But then again, I could completely botch it. We could lose back-to-back games, and we could still miss out on the league title. But I want to know your opinion on that. I want to know nations that we should look to scout as we head into our 4th season with the team in the next episode. One way or another, we will be beginning our next season. And, of course, that'll be in League One, which will be pretty exciting. But as far as whether or not we're league champions or not, we'll find out in the next episode. Promotion, of course, has already been guaranteed. So let me know. Do we just want to sim the match, or am I allowed to play a match of that much importance? Let me know what you think. And if I do play it, for the record, it'll be on Legendary or Ultimates. That can also be up to you. So for now, thank you very much for watching. I know you hate me. I'm sorry. Trust me, this hurts me. This hurts me more than it hurts you. But I kind of just want to see us raise a fictional trophy for no reason whatsoever. I'm sorry. And even then, even if I play it, there's no guarantee. Is that? No, even then there's no guarantee, because technically if Shrewsbury wins the next 2 and we lose the game after this, it would come down to goal differential, although we are losing. Are we winning on goal differential? Oh yeah, we're winning on goal differential. So we have that. Yeah, we're going to win on goal differential no matter what. So yeah, if we win this next game, that's the league title confirmed. So yeah. God, this sucks. I just want to sim it, but I kind of want to play it. I'm going to end the episode. I'm sorry. But I'll see you in the next one.